Everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
It may well possess a rudimentary intelligence.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Felt a great disturbance in the force.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Come on, Mark, like a dog for me.
Where's the goodies? Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
You filthy criminal.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Here are your hosts, Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
You wonder why I carry a tape recorder? It's to tape things. See, I'm an idea man, Chuck. All right? I get ideas all day long. I can't control them. It's like they come charging in. I can't even fight them if I wanted to, you know? So I say them in here, and that way I never forget them. See what I'm saying? Got everything in here. Business ideas, inventions, musicals. I wrote a couple musicals in here.
Would you like to see the rest of The Office?
Yeah.
Welcome to Everything Old is New Again. This is Douglas Viviani with our own Fonzie himself, David Cohen.
Do you remember what Michael Keaton's idea was? He had what he told Henry Winkler.
Edible.
No, you feed tuna mayonnaise while they're still alive, and this way, when you catch them, you have instant tuna fish salad.
He had a lot of ideas like that. That was great. I'll tell you why I mentioned that. Well, Fonzie, first of all, was that voice at the end because he's going.
But he wasn't Fonzie in that movie. He was Henry Winkler playing another character.
One of his first movies, though.
Yeah.
After Fonzie, and it's just I love how deadpan he is. Michael Keaton's going through all this stuff and all his ideas, and he just literally throws it out the window. Just says, "Do you want to see where you're going to go work?"
Right. Just completely ignores him.
We've all worked with people like that, have we?
Yes. I have that same feeling.
Same privilege as we speak. Now, reason why I play that is that is something that happens to me a lot. I get a lot of, if anyone's talking to me about the show, they understand what it is, they've heard it. Where do you get the ideas? Where do you and David find the inspiration for these shows?
But the questions are more like, where did you get that idea?
Yes, the intonation was a little bit different than...
But still curious. They still want to know.
Still want to know. So what I figured was this week, we'll take a few minutes and we'll peel the onion. What would you say?
Stinking onion.
Yeah, get that. Take the curtain right away from the show and let's find out how a pitch session works, or what we do to figure out what would be future shows, and maybe from here we'll actually develop a show or two, and you'll hear down the line. How does that sound?
Very exciting.
It is kind of exciting. We're also joined by two young individuals who believe...
Aspiring writers.
Oh, bless you.
Allergy sufferers.
Who believe that they have some ideas that would be helpful to this show.
It's all the cat hair in the chair. We dragged an auxiliary chair that is coated with cat hair, and now we're all at risk for sneezing.
So we have Angelica Viviani. Angelica, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
And you've already said hello in some ways. And Leo, you say hello.
Hello.
And Leo, so you are 7, and Angelica is 10. And they
first grade.
In first grade, Leo, but not for soon, not for long.
Fourth grade, going into 5th grade.
All right, so we'll get your perspective on some of these.
You know, your father, when he finished 5th grade, he never went back again. Did you know that? He's a 5th grade scholar.
Correct. I'm a Wikipedia graduate. So let's go through some ideas, and eventually we will ask the two of you to present an idea or two, okay? So first idea, what we're going to do is I want to talk about, and I think Dave is going to enjoy this one, English humor. I don't know how popular it is on television anymore, but it was in the movie with Fish Called Wanda. It was, Graham Norton is on the BBC channel. He's the talk show host there, Johnny Carson. You see him. Fawlty Towers, Benny Hill, Monty Python, rather old, but you do still see it. I guess James Corden, I guess you could say, in some ways. But I'm talking about really more like television shows and movies, really.
That were produced and air in England.
Exactly. Let me play you a little something. See if you recognize this.
This scribbler, writer of jokes. In a few moments, he will have written the funniest joke in the world. And, as a consequence, he will die laughing.
I guess it's not as funny as I thought. That whole skit, do you remember that skit?
Of course.
So
yeah.
the joke was written, and then they had to translate it. Is World War II. They translated it into German, and the translation, there would be every person that was translating could only translate one word.
Right.
At a time.
It was that funny.
It was that funny. And then once it was translated, you see all the soldiers out in the field, and rather than do battle, they're pulling out this piece of paper with this joke, and all the Germans are dying, falling out of trees and everywhere else, dying of laughter.
Can I say something?
So, no, not yet. So,
that goes along with the topic you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead. You know a lot about Monty Python?
No, but
Okay.
we're learning about World War II, so.
Okay, but that's a little more serious. We're talking, we just want to have some fun. And so, David Cohen, describe to me your thoughts on English humor, because I know you're a big fan, at least the very least, of Monty Python.
Yeah, well, it didn't. I don't know if it ever really translates over to the U.S.
Right.
I always appreciated English humor. It's very sarcastic, very absurdist. And it's not like typical American humor where it's like, set up, punchline, or necessarily like, physical, like pratfalls. It's not necessarily that way over there. So I don't know if it always translated here. I remember the guys from Monty Python hosted Saturday Night Live once and did some sketches, and I don't think it did very well. It just didn't translate. So I appreciate it, but I don't, like I said, I don't think a lot of
They did
Americans
a tour recently. Last on, and I'm going to call it 10 years, right? They were at the Hollywood Bowl and some places.
That was a long time ago. And what they found was that when they would do their sketches in front of live audiences here in the U.S., the audiences would say the sketches along with them. So they weren't laughing when they saw Monty Python perform, whether it was on TV or live. They would talk about it later, and they would laugh in the retelling of the sketches.
Right.
And that was one thing I think the cast of Monty Python always thought was very strange.
Right.
It's
almost like what we just did it. Didn't you?
Yeah,
you
you
didn't like the way we did it? You want to do it yourself?
Right.
Are we writing for you?
Exactly. Now let me perform it. I can do it better.
But, the Monty Python Holy Grail is amazing. Everyone has seen that, no?
Right.
So some of that translated. I don't know if 100% of it translated, but some of it did. I don't know. I think there's a show there to explore it and look at it in much more detail, play some of these skits, and see how they maybe compare.
We have to make it more current because this.
Right.
You talk about Monty Python, you're talking like 40 years ago.
Right. So that therefore is my question is
what's happening
think?
now?
Yeah. Do you have any off the top of your head?
No, not right now. I think I'd have to do some research on it. Because
are there some? There have to be.
I don't know.
All right, so
we'll look into it. I think it's a good idea.
We will see. Now, let's take an idea from Angelica Viviani. What do you have for our show in mind?
So, I have a couple ideas down.
Go ahead.
But I'll just say one of them right now. So one of the ideas that I had was you can do like summer versus school, like the pros and cons, and then like see which one wins. But I think we know which one will win.
Well, in other words, from a kid's point of view?
From an adult to a kid's point of view to see what they thought.
Okay, so who has a better time in the summer, kids or adults, and or in the, let's call it winter, the school time, right?
Yeah.
All right, how about it? Yes,
I
David.
put my money on the kids.
I do, too.
Having a better time.
I do, too. In either event. No, I think the parents will like it better when school's around.
Do they?
I think because then the parents have a little time for themselves. But really not because you have to work. So is it...
That's a show right there.
There you go. All right, one more, Angelica. Let's hear another one. Real quick. I know you have to go to a party. Go ahead.
So one of them, if you guys are like bookworms, then I think you would like this idea.
Yes.
So it's a kid's book review for a book kids read and see if adults will enjoy them by the plot.
In other words, have the adults read a book written for children. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or at least like a page or read the back
whole
of
book.
it.
Now, who are some of your favorite authors?
There's this author that I got interested in. She writes middle grade novels. Her name's Corey Ann Haidu, I think. And she's written a few middle grade novels. And I was looking on YouTube, and one of them was saying that, like, it might not sound as interesting to adults, but if you really read them, that they're actually, like, really interesting for all ages.
Terrific. And how about Rena Selmeyer?
Oh, yeah, we're actually going to have her on the show soon, I hope.
We hope. We're trying. We've reached out. She's a very popular children's author, right?
Yeah, well, she's actually not like a writer like book, but she's a graphic novelist, which is like a comic.
Right.
But it's like in like a book. Like comics are like pages, and it doesn't have like a cover or like.
We will
hardcover,
find out some more when we come back, and everything old is new again. Right after this, from Leo Viviani and your ideas, right, Leo?
Let's give a real Las Vegas welcome for our heroic young man, Jack Singer.
Everything Old is New Again is sponsored by the law office of Douglas Viviani. Douglas Viviani has been providing quality legal service for over 26 years. We're a general practice firm and can handle any legal matter you may have for a reasonable fee. If you're involved in a car accident, starting a business, planning your estate, or need a criminal attorney, please call 631-681-1910 or email us at vivianilaw@aol.com for a free consultation. Get the justice you deserve. Contact the law office of Douglas Viviani at vivianilaw@aol.com.
You're listening to Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Hi, this is Nick Cellino. You're listening to Everything Old is New Again with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Hi, this is Bob Breyer, and we're Everything Old is New Again with David Cohen and Douglas Viviani.
We sure are, and we're having a great time here talking about shows that might appear on your dial soon. From Everything Old is New Again, show ideas. We had Nick Stellino on with Angelica Viviani, who's here with us today as well. We had Bob Breyer on talking about ancient Egypt. You can find all those shows back on our website, everythingoldisnewagain.biz. Leo, don't sound so excited. And we can go to our YouTube channel, Everything Old is New Again radio show, and find all old shows. Leo Viviani's here, our 7-year-old, our resident expert in all things kiddom. And I wanted to see, Leo, what kind of a show would you like to see us do?
Junk food versus fruits and veggies.
Oh, okay. So junk food versus foods and veggies. And what would you say about that? Fruits and veggies. I'm sorry. What would you say about that? Which side would you be on? What would you like
Fruits
better?
and vegetables.
You like the fruits and vegetables better, right? Leo comes home from school and we do some fresh fruits and vegetables, and you just love it, right? What do you like better, the apples?
Well, no, I like the corn.
Okay, corn's a big hit, and we're growing a lot in the backyard, right?
Yeah.
How about we do a show about gardening and how to grow things?
Why not the show he just suggested?
Well, we could do a second show. We could do a subset. That's a good show, though.
No, I like that idea because I think from your perspective, Leo, it would be really cool to hear about someone eating really healthy foods and preferring it over junk food, right? So you could suggest ideas of healthy snacks for kids to eat and adults.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say is a good snack when you go home from school? What do you like as a good
Oranges.
Oranges.
Cara oranges.
Cara oranges. What about mandarin oranges, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like those. And you like hummus? You eat the hummus, right?
Yeah, with the apples and sometimes with the carrots.
Yeah.
Wow, good for you, man.
You like that so much better than, like, let's just say, I don't know.
Doritos?
Yeah, cookie. Well, he likes Doritos, too, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oops. But other things, like, that's really a good idea. I have an idea. David Cohen, what do you think of this? Do you remember this speech in a very famous movie?
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough...
And that's where we leave it for now. I would like to know, first of all, we all know that's Animal House.
Yes.
Guys, you haven't seen that movie yet. You're not going to see that for years on end, but it's one of the funniest movies ever made. And it's about college or school. Do you think there's something in there to look at, explore what's happening? To explore what's happening in the world of movies made about college. And sometimes they're comedies. Sometimes they're movies about... and give you like a real message, let's say, something like, The Paper Chase or Dead Poets Society. Is there anything there to any of that?
Maybe like more broadly, are you talking about maybe like a coming of age sort of thing, like a new phase in your life, whether it's school or whatever you happen to be going through at the time,
right?
As you're growing up. Yeah, I think there's a theme there. Sure.
As we've done a show about 3 shows about going back to school, but all of that ended up in a culmination of high school. Let's take a look at college and how is it represented in the movies versus now. Is that realistic? What is college?
Are there a lot
really
of
like?
movies about college right now?
Monsters U. There was Abbott Costello. Here Come the
Monsters
Co-eds.
U?
There's
yeah.
But wasn't that like
Old School?
long
There's
time?
Old School with Will Ferrell. There's,
No, I'm talking about now.
Oh,
I mean,
every year there's another.
I think if we can find some about colleges now, sure.
And
yeah.
now, Angelica, do you have another idea before you leave us for your play date?
I have 4.
Okay, well, give us one more.
Aww.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So one of them was what Leo said: the healthy food versus junk
So
food.
why would you repeat it then?
I have no idea. So another one of my ideas was old TV shows that turned into new TV shows, because that kind of goes along with your theme, like your theme.
Do you have one of them in mind?
No.
How about like Lost in Space? There's an old one and a new one.
Yeah, I was
right?
thinking about that, because that was an old show and it came into a new show. And which one you would prefer, the old one or the new one?
Okay, how about like Hawaii Five-0? Believe it or not, was an old show and now is a new one.
Yeah.
Lots of shows.
So
there are
we
lots
could-
of shows like
Good
that.
idea. Yeah.
Okay.
So we could talk about that.
But which is better? How about the idea of have any of them, the newer ones, been better than the old ones?
Right.
Yeah, or vice versa, if
Right.
the old one was better than the new one. I also have...
Do we have to pay her for these ideas?
Yeah, these are not bad. She's an idea girl.
I also have funny stuff from your day to me and Leo's day. Like, what was funny when you were around, and what is funny when me and Leo
So do you think it's different? Like Grandpa used to say, he used to watch me watching Abbott Costello, said, well, funny is funny. Whenever it was funny then, it's going to be funny now. I don't know if it's true or not. What do you think, David Cohen?
I think comedy today is very different than when you and I were growing up.
Yeah, like, if we do the show, you could, like, find out for yourself.
Yeah, that would be fun. Comedy now versus then. Okay, that's a good one.
I think
Take your time.
You don't have to think of any others. Those are
Those are really good ones.
Yeah.
Those are excellent. Yes, Leo, you're raising your hand. That's good.
Old TV shows.
Old TV shows? You like what? Land of the Giants?
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny. Okay.
Nice.
And what do you want to talk about then? What do you want to say? Perfect. It's exactly how things go around there. But do you like Land of the Giants? No? What do you like about Bugs Bunny? Tell us about Bugs.
It's funny.
He's fun. He is funny, right? What about the other guy, the big rooster? You like that guy? Foghorn Leghorn? Never
The
saw
guy
him?
that runs.
Yeah. Roadrunner. The Roadrunner. You like that guy? Yeah, Leo's into all that stuff. You like all the old stuff, right, Leo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk about the old cartoons versus new cartoons.
How about that? Like Roadrunner against
Big City Greens.
Big City Greens.
There you
That's a
go.
new one. Okay, we could do that. All right, we'll invite you guys
Bugs
back to
Bunny versus Big City Greens.
that. That would be something.
Or Bugs Bunny versus DuckTales.
Yes, Bugs Bunny versus and DuckTales is good. They're in the second season now, right, Angelica?
4th. They're in their 4th season.
And how good is it?
Good.
Just good. You get home from school, you can't wait to turn it on.
Oh.
In September, I think they said in the trailer that they're making they're gonna be all new ones in September.
All new? I can't wait. That's
Wow.
going to
I
be
think.
May.
Or October.
Okay.
These are better ideas than we've come up with recently.
Yeah, I think that's not so bad.
And this isn't like, I think
Keep
you
touching
guys,
the microphone. Go ahead.
I think you guys should do shows that like relate to like old stuff and new stuff. Like you do that, but you can make more.
Okay, so we like what? What do you mean? Leo, please be careful. That microphone's
Like
hearing you.
old stuff that was around in your day,
Right.
and then you can compare it to the stuff in our day and compare it,
Okay.
sort of. And you can also do old movies versus new movies
Yeah.
that like are remakes or even just like completely completely different movies
Right.
from like old.
And what were you saying about The Greatest Showman, Leo? That's a good idea, Angelica.
The Greatest Showman, that one of them, you could do one of them versus Land of Giants. or
Okay.
something.
How about shows that take place in Hawaii? Have we ever done anything like that? We heard a little bit of that theme a few minutes ago of what? Honeymoon in Vegas. Remember that? Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, sure.
So that was pretty cool.
And
There's
also,
what? Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
That's
interrupt.
okay.
But you said this before, like Hawaii 5-0 was old, and then I've seen it, like, I haven't watched it, but, like, I see, like, it says Hawaii Five-0 and, like, turning on in 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, that's entering its, like, 7th season already. There's Magnum P.I., which was back in the day with Tom Selleck, and now is new with, I don't know, some new character. There's Pearl Harbor, the movie was made in Hawaii. Have you ever been to Hawaii, David Cohen?
I have, yes.
And what do you think of Hawaii?
It's beautiful.
How many times have you been there?
Once.
Where'd you go?
It was our honeymoon, so we went to Honolulu just for a night or two, see like Pearl Harbor, and then we spent the rest of the time Maui and Kauai.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's unreal. I was there a couple times myself. I actually applied for a job to be a prosecutor in Hawaii.
Wow.
Back in the day. And had I gotten it, I'd be there. I'd probably still be there. I just thought it was terrific.
I also, have another idea.
Oh, okay. Go right along with us. What do you have?
Okay, so you can compare, like, let's say there's a movie that was, like, maybe not even from your day, but, like, a movie, and as an actor. And then they make a remake with a new actor and see which one was better.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. And Leo has an idea before he leaves. What do you got, kid?
Caveman.
You want to do a movie about cavemen?
Yeah.
I think Ringo Starr did that once. Ringo Starr was in a caveman movie. You want to watch that?
No, I mean, like, you do it on the show.
Yeah, we could do that. But you have to see the movie first, and then we could talk about it.
Okay.
Do you want to see Ringo Starr this year in concert?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go again. Okay.
Don't torture the kids.
All right, we'll be back on Everything Old is New again. Sans the kids, and we're going to continue to open the vault here of ideas and see. Yes, you have one, Leo? What do you got?
Pool. Pool.
The pool.
We could do a show about the pool?
Yeah, and, like, on here.
Okay. How about we do the show from the pool? We bring the microphones out by the pool.
How, though?
We could do it.
How about from underwater?
How can you bring that all the way over there?
We can do it. We go to conventions. We do the show sometimes on the road. We could do it. Well, all right. See you soon. We'll be back right at this.
Bye, guys. Thanks. Those are good.
Bye.
Oh, those are great ideas.
Those are great, except for that last one. That was not a good idea. What you just
We'll
did.
talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right.
Bye. Hello.
All right. See you later. We'll be back right at this. Everything Old's New.
Now, back to America's entertainment pop culture talk show. Everything Old is New Again, with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Hello, I'm Kevin Burns, and I'm the executive producer of the new Lost in Space on Netflix, The Curse of Oak Island, and Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. And you're listening to Everything Old is New Again with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Ah, there's another idea man, Kevin Burns himself.
Yeah, we should get him on the show just to help us with ideas.
It would be nice. Did you know, we've had him on the show, by the way, and if you want to hear those shows, go to oldnewagain@aol.com. Well, you can send me a note, and I'll let you know where it is. Or you can go to the website, everythingoldisnewagain.biz. Or you can go to the YouTube channel, look up Everything Old is New Again radio show, and you will find all of our old shows. Anyway, he's an idea man.
Yeah.
Did you know that he is, we stumbled on this when we interviewed him, but he has now been recognized as the foremost collector of Munster memorabilia.
Yeah, that's right.
Number one in the world.
Because he talked about it a lot, but so he's been independently verified as the number one.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
It's not so bad. So we should have him back, I think, but that's more visual, but maybe we can have him describe why he collects it,
He's a
what
storyteller.
he has.
He could paint a picture with words.
Should we do that? That wouldn't be a bad idea for a show, would it?
Yeah, no, that's actually, I like that. I like that idea.
And maybe, I don't know, that's what we're doing now. We're trying to take a look at ideas for a show. So David Cohen, I think, has got one. He wants to talk about it. He has an idea for a show. So tell us what you got. No, I mean, really, any show, the idea that you have in mind, now is the time. Because for now, if you don't say it, or forever hold your peace, speak now, or...
I think a great... an interesting idea that I've been thinking about is, these biopics about rock bands that have come out recently, Bohemian Rhapsody, and now there's Rocket Man, Elton John, and I'm sure many will follow. The only question I have is, had they made those in the past, or is there anything that we can compare the new ones to the old ones? And maybe not, because none are coming to mind right now, but I think that at least if we can compare them, we could talk about, hey, what are some bands, either recent or current, that I think like a biopic would be a great thing to do, right?
Here's the thing. This is my postulation. The reason why Queen Rocket Man, which is Elton John, and Johnny Cash, and some other of these biopics have been so successful recently.
There you go. Johnny Cash is an old one that we can compare to a new one.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but that's that was a good one. But the reason why they're so popular, I think, and you may fight me on this, and I might be wrong, but we don't have the iconic bands anymore and the iconic musicians as we used to, like a Sinatra and so forth, to do these biopics about or to enjoy now. So we do the biopics to reinvigorate the old music.
Well, you're talking about rock and roll, right?
Yeah,
so there are other forms of music where people are extremely popular these days and probably will have a biopic made about them. So it's not, I hear what you're saying, but I think we can expand it beyond.
Okay,
we can just talk about music.
All right, if you say music, yes, because if it's rock and roll, it's going to be the people from the 70s and 80s, and I don't know if you're going to have any others.
But the Buddy Holly story, right?
Yes, there's one.
With what's his name from the what is it, 90s?
Yes.
There's a bunch. You're right. There are some we can compare old and new. Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. There are some. The Ricky Valens story.
Oh, right. La
Bamba.
That's right.
That's another one. So they've done it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that. That would be nice to have the music and then see what they did. Another thing they're doing and considering and confused about is with the biopics, do you play the original music from the band, or do you redo it and listen to a Queen-esque band, not really Queen's music? So I think it's very interesting topic to get into that.
And even with Bohemian Rhapsody, it was neither. It was not, a lot of times it wasn't the actor and it wasn't Freddie Mercury. It was another guy singing that sounded like Freddie Mercury, who was providing the vocals. So, yeah, it's interesting why they went that direction.
And I haven't seen Rocket Man yet. I'm hearing good things. I don't know what they did there. And then do you put in the soundtrack of the original person, and then you've got someone lip syncing, and then they win an Oscar for lip syncing? It's a weird thing.
Right.
All right, so that's a great idea. I also think there's something in movies and television shows about radio. They've done it before. We've seen it with Howard Stern's movie, Private Parts. Okay. We've seen it with, TV show WKRP in Cincinnati and Frasier. We've seen a little bit Good Morning Vietnam, talk radio, Eric Bogosian, remember him?
Sure.
Back in 98. Even The Fog, John Carpenter with Adrienne Barbeau was a talk show
broadcast personality.
So I'm wondering, is there anything...
Frasier was
a great one. You'd see that all the time. Yeah. So we could explore that and see what they're doing is that real what's happening in radio now? Is it, fictionalized in that that's not really what's going on, or is it right to the point? And what was radio like back in the golden age? Did they ever do any radio shows about radio? Probably not, but maybe they did. It could explore a little something about behind the scenes of radio and as it's presented in our pop culture, because it
would be. Is there a cat around?
Yeah, what does that sound?
I don't know. But it would be interesting to do a little research on our side, too. It might be your chair.
It is. That's my chair. Yeah. Hello. We just solved the mystery.
I'm glad it wasn't a cat. It would be interesting to find out what we can talk about radio today and its relevance right now. I think it would also be a good juxtaposition. Yes. So, all right, good.
And like radio versus podcast, because there is that battle.
Oh, right.
There really is. And podcasting is out. It's blowing up, and now they're saying it's going to hit an apex and go down. Who knows? What's the future of podcasting? Because it makes it radio available to the non-professional, let's call it. Do they ever get better? Are they? There's the problem with podcasting. Just to throw it out there, is there's so many. Boy, it's just like television shows now. It's a project to find one that you like. And then what's on the radio is maybe the radio stations maybe have screened a little bit better for you when you just turn it on and you've got something better to listen to. That's at least a topic.
Yes.
It's something to talk about.
I like that one.
So we could do that.
This is how the two geniuses that you're listening to right now, the genius behind these incredible ideas, come to form. You're hearing it as we're speaking and we're developing them. And you should be honored to be a fly on the wall listening to the greatness that's taking place right now.
I can hear the radios turn off as we speak. How about this one? We did a little bit of this, but the greatest lines in movies.
Yeah, that's good.
And even we could do what is the best or the movie that has the most lines that are still used in our culture today, I would argue Casablanca.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. Hilda, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. You played it for her, you play it for me.
Well, I don't think I can remember.
If she can stand it, I can. Play it. Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Now, you may not hear those quotes every day, but if you give those quotes to someone, to this day, don't you think people still know those?
No, if you're our age, yeah. But I think we need some help with younger people on this one, because I'm not... the younger people these days are probably quoting movies that you and I either haven't seen or don't know about. So it would be good to get some help on that. But it's a very interesting topic.
That actually would be great, because we would be doing Dirty Harry, Make My Day, Jaws, We Need a Bigger Boat, all those Godfather quotes, Gone with the Wind, frankly, you don't give a damn. It really would be interesting to find out. We have to find a younger person that is savvy with pop culture, let's say in his 20s or 30s or her, and battle us, tell us, no, this one's better and it's a more recent movie and all that.
Okay.
Makes sense?
I might be able to find someone.
Yeah, okay. That would be great.
Good.
Let me see where we are on time. We have 1 minute, 2 minutes, so I'm going to throw this out there. Movies and TV, now, we did this about radio, about television, such as, and I'm talking more about live television.
Well, you were reading my mind on that, because fairly recently they had the Jeffersons and the All in the Family basically redos of actual episodes that aired many years ago. They were rebroadcast with new actors, but basically the same script. So to me, that was very similar to taking a Broadway musical and doing it live.
Right.
So very interesting concept.
And that was broadcast live.
Yes, exactly.
So that was pretty cool. And then so I like that idea. And they're doing a lot of these plays, and Rent just flopped and all that.
It's I don't know. Is that where you were going with this? I might be off course.
No, I was going with that for sure. And then I was going to take it one step beyond. And what's behind the scenes? We did Saturday Night Live show years ago. But what's behind the scenes of the creation of some of these shows? Like, I know we're going back to my show of shows, but that's similar to Saturday Night Live. Like, how is it created and how is it represented? There's a movie which I've mentioned before, I know you haven't seen, My Favorite Year, with Peter O'Toole. And that's all about the writers, like Carl Reiner, Woody Allen, Mel Brooks, of the Sid Caesar show, or your show of shows. Then there's the Dick Van Dyke Show, which was a television show basically doing the same thing. And then there's Larry Sanders, and there's a new movie out right now, Late Night. It's a 2019 movie with Mindy, what's her name, Kaling?
Yeah.
And that's, all about behind the scenes of a live show to show you that, people think that it just happens.
Right.
And it really doesn't. You've got to plan a lot of what's going on. So I think to me, that's kind of interesting. The live show itself, the result, but also what's behind the scenes, and performing it live, like you just said, like they did All in the Family. Make sense?
Makes sense.
We'll be back right after this on Everything Old is New Again. I continue peeling the onion.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
This is Terrence Winter, writer and executive producer of The Sopranos, creator and executive producer of Boardwalk Empire and The New Vinyl on HBO. And you're listening to my friends Douglas Viviani and David Cohen on Everything Old is New Again.
All right. We got some people intonducing us here, huh?
I know. It's
not so
pretty prestigious cast of characters.
Pretty.
God, that's coming back again. Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Season 11, I think, right? Do you think he's got it still?
No, I didn't like season 10 at all.
Yeah, it was a little
with what's his name from Hamilton. I didn't like that.
Yeah. I like it better when he just does the everyday stuff.
Yeah,
get away from showbiz and just do the everyday lives.
Yeah, he'd done that theme already.
Right.
with the producers, right?
Yes.
So this was almost like a repeat of that, and
it's almost like he got Lin-Manuel to do. And he said, we'll develop a show around that. We just got him as a guest. I want to have him on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, for me, it didn't work. Hopefully next season will be better.
Yes. But when is that going to be? 2036?
No, coming, it's like this fall, I think.
Nice. Curb Your Enthusiasm on the way back. That's an underrated show in that it's not on regular TV, and there's so many years in between seasons that you talk about it when it's on, and then you forget about it, for a long time, and it comes back, and I forgot about that show. That's tremendous, you know. Well, I think he's a lot of fun to see what he does with all of that.
Think he'd come on this show?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna try him actually. Yeah. Well, he is so quirky. He might
just do it.
Yeah. Why not? Let me write that down.
That'd be pretty cool.
Now, I just want to say we've had a lot of guests this year. What happened was I send out requests for guests, and I don't expect as many responses as I got this time, and I was happy to do it, but I prefer to do shows just you and I, to be honest with you. And I love the guests.
You and me.
You and me?
Yeah.
Is that how
Are you still enjoying it?
No, I take it back. I love having the guests. You and I, the shows that you and I, that's the struggle.
You and I.
When someone has the
when you and
me, when someone
no, it's like when you and I do the show. That I think that's correct.
Right.
When you do the show with me, I think that's not. You know what I mean?
That's when you lost me, but it's okay. We could do a show on English and the proper.
You said I love doing a show with
you and I.
You and I. Right. It should be with you and me.
What now? Why?
Because me is the object with you and me.
I can never be an object?
Yeah, you could say I love doing.
But I can't be an object with this when there's another person involved, is what you're saying.
What other ideas do you have for shows? Have a grammar yesterday versus today, and just how we just
do a grammar
lesson. Both don't get it, and in the old days it seemed to be so much more important than it is today.
That little brown book, do you remember the little brown book?
Yes, I do.
You could buy this book with the grammar lessons and all that.
Absolutely.
I couldn't get any of it. I never understood. I understood a noun. You know where I learned it from? Mad Libs. That's where I learned noun, adjective, verb.
It was a great way to learn about it. Absolutely.
The little brown book didn't do it for me. I bet you don't have that anymore.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I know you don't, but I know if like in school what they do.
Do they still teach grammar in school?
Good question.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it these days.
That's a good point.
These days, I tell you.
All right, how about this one? We'll just. I don't know if I need to play this clip. Maybe. All right, I guess I will. I'll play this clip and we'll talk about this.
Yeah, they had the craziest gun.
What gun?
Oh, they had a gun that fired a shot that was heard clear around the world.
Darnest thing I ever heard of.
What gun?
What?
What kind of gun?
What kind of gun what?
You know what kind of gun? The kind of gun that could fire a shot that could be heard clear around the world. Tell us about that gun.
All right, that just introduces Andy Griffith telling a story, and I think what would be a great show, if we had the time to do it right, is to examine those people in our culture that tell stories, like a Gene Shepard, like Jack Kerouac, what the heck is his name? Will Rogers, Tom Hanks, even these days, tell story. You hear Tom Hanks tell a story on a talk show. Will Ferrell tell a story. But the art of telling a story, doesn't have to be funny, but the art of telling a story, I think, is key, is important, and I think a lot of people don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Leo and I, to get Leo to sleep at night, he says, tell me a creepy story. So at least 2 to 3 nights a week, I sit in bed with him, with the lights out, and I have to make up a creepy story for him, and he remembers every one of them. So I have to always be new and original. They're not.
And you think of them on the spot.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Have you done that?
Yes, but yeah, I can see you being very, very good at that.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Obviously you are, because he's remembering the stories. How horrifying are you making these stories is really the question.
Some of them are horrifying. But yeah, he does. But the thing is, he waits till the end and then he falls asleep. So he does keep his attention. So and then we went to last year on a vacation with another family. We sat around the fireplace and they wanted to tell stories. So I told the story of the three-eyed fish, and which is something I made up and Leo wanted to hear. But I'm just saying, like,
right.
And then other people tried their hand at telling a story. You have to be open-minded and not judgmental. But if you let that person just widen their horizon, expand their their ability to talk without being judged, especially these kids, you can get some pretty cool stories from them, and it's kind of fun. But I think it's hard to anyone to perform stand-up, do any kind of public speaking. A lot of people have a tough time with it. I think they have a little more acceptance or how-to kind of a thing. Maybe it'd be a nicer experience for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like that idea. I think we should do it. How much time do we have?
You have more ideas. You have another one?
I think we should revisit we were talking earlier in the show about rock and roll, the state of rock music, which doesn't seem to exist anymore. And I think we did a show years ago on that topic, and I think it might be a good time to sort of revisit that, because the state of music now is sort of all over the place, and because I have a son who has friends that are very well connected with music today, I'm probably in a better position to talk maybe where rock is versus where it used to be, and what's going on and where to find it and that sort of thing. And also compare and contrast what it sounds like today versus what it sounded like when you and I were growing up. So just another topic, an old topic we did that we can revisit, because everything old is new again.
Exactly.
A show within a show.
We could... we could dig up some old topics that we've done like that, and some others.
Or others.
And no, I like that one.
Like that one, or possibly others.
No, I just think that we've done 265 shows. There's quite a number that we can revisit with, an update, which we have done with in some ways. We did Planet of the Apes again. We've done Godzilla again, and some others. But I think it's a good idea to take a look. I wanted to go back because I didn't make my point. I apologize about guests. I love having guests on the show, honestly, but I prefer you and I. That doesn't mean that I don't like guests, but I think I would like to hear some feedback from the audience if they ever would write in oldnewagain@AOL.com and tell us what they prefer. Shows with guests, shows just David and I say guests, let's say guest celebrity guests, shows just David and I, shows with our guests of our Rogues Gallery, the locals, and or shows with characters.
Right.
Kind of and shows are like games.
Yes.
So I'd like to see what that is. I think we should do another game show.
I think that would be fun.
Which we haven't done in a while.
Right.
That's true. We can dig up Jim Geedy from KVGC.
Yes.
And
I appeared on his show recently. I don't know if you heard it, but
I did hear it. Very interesting. Because you played it off. No, you played it off like, if I remember, you played it off like you didn't have any fun on this show. And who am I? Which, that's what we try to do. We try to bring some fun to the radio, something entirely different to the radio. So, if you have any ideas for us, shoot us a note, oldnewagain@AOL.com. Otherwise, I tell you, the other idea that I have is that I'd like to take the show on the road a little bit once in a while. Like we're going to go to the Eternal Convention in a couple of weeks at the Nassau Coliseum. It's a big event.
That sounds fun.
And I'd like to see, when we do that, what kind of feedback we get from the audience. Can we do audience participation? Something like that. Something totally different that you don't hear on the radio. Going to a convention and hearing our show and the conventioneers. Why are they here? What are they doing? Maybe participate in a game show or something like that.
Yeah, very good.
Anson Williams will be at that show. I'm going to try to throw a microphone in front of his
That's
face.
Potsy, right?
Yes.
From Happy Days.
Yeah. Look for now for a string of shows that are going to be David and I having some fun with
David and me. It's going to be David and me.
It's going to be me and David.
Me and David. Maybe it's easier to say it that way. It's going to be me and David. It's going to be me and Doug.
So listen to us, email us, and send a note to the radio station that's not playing us and ask them, what are you guys doing, man? Play the show. I want to hear that show where they revisit some topic and whatever it might be. Suggest it and we'll do it.
Good idea.
All right, we'll be back next week. All things fun, exciting, thrills, little adventure, maybe some romance. Not necessarily right here.
I didn't expect that one.
Okay,
sure, a romance. Why not? Let's do a show.
Hey, we'll have your wife in again. That would be good. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, you said romance, so I don't know how.
That's why my wife doesn't come to mind either.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back.